Hello everybody, it's your boy Gianfranco Life. You can just call me G though. Today we're gonna talk about this one thing that kind of popped up on Instagram, and it is these images of people saying say no to AI. And I gotta say, so I am an artist too, and I know that AI is an actual threat to artists. People don't want to accept that as an artist, you will be able to be replaced by a cost-effective, time-effective solution. AIs right now are not capable of fully just replacing an artist. As you can see by some of these images, the images are cool looking, but when you look at them really close, they are they need some work. Before you know it, in a couple years, AI will be definitely able to create finished works of art that may not need any tweaking, maybe just a little bit of tweaking, and that will be the end of just like freelance artists. And a lot of people on Instagram are feeling threatened. It is understandable to feel threatened, to be scared, and to be basically xenophobic of AI. But here's the thing, right? Just because you're feeling threatened, it doesn't mean that it's gonna go away. I see there's a parallel between this and the time, I don't know if you remember this. I mean, none of you were alive, but you know the time when photography was invented? I'm sure a lot of portrait artists were, dang, this technology is the devil. But you have to adapt, right? And like people at the time, what they did is they started to like create all of these more dreamy kind of like paintings to like be like, no, look, a camera cannot do this. Now, I really don't know where artists are gonna go this time, because photorealism through art is just kind of like, it's just a niche. I mean, it's cool to see, but like I can have a camera do that. And making dream-like stuff that's highly detailed is literally, even already, easier and better if it's done by an AI. It's just faster, it is cheaper than to hire an artist, and just like technology did away with the guys that like pull the lever at elevators, unfortunately a lot of artists are gonna go that way. And I'm not happy about it. I am an artist myself. In fact, I'm almost starting to think that I picked the wrong thing to want to be, because I do art, I do drawing and painting. Obviously, I do music. I heard that there's an AI that makes videos. There's no doubt in my mind that there will be AI YouTube creators. So AI also doesn't mean that it's going to be completely independent. At least not yet. It probably will get there, but I don't think we'll see that like anytime soon. There will still be people who use AI as a tool, because that's exactly what AI is. AI is actually just a tool. So okay, so like think about this, right? You know how on Photoshop you have that thing where I think it's called the blemish brush, and it's AI. You can go in there, look at an imperfection on the skin, and do the brush over it, and then the AI calculates the average tones and textures of the surrounding area, and then it fills it in. AI has already been helping artists. Like you could go in and painstakingly replace every pixel, right? Paint it in what was supposed to be there instead of the blemish. You could paint on a canvas, and that is messy. That takes a lot of time, takes a lot of money. And now instead of that, we went to digital art. And I remember, because digital art is very new still, when people were like, digital art is not real art. Which obviously, I mean, listen, there's no wrong opinions here, but that's the wrong take. Like, obviously digital art is art. AI art is also art, and it doesn't take the humanity out of art. At least not yet. I do think there could be a future where humanity is completely taken out of art, and I'll explain that in just a second. But before that, you still need a person to go in and give the prompt. If you're making a movie, at least still today, you will go to an artist, give them a prompt and say, hey, I need a warrior that looks like this. You give a prompt to an artist, and it takes the artist, I don't know how long, depending on the artist, maybe a day or two or a week, to refine and give you one pass, right? He gives you like a couple options, and then you're like, no, this is all wrong, let's do it again. And so you rework it, right? You could be months into a project, and you could still be like, no, you know what, actually let's redesign this character. And all of that is costly, it takes a lot of time, and could be better done with AI. I can go to an artist and say, hey, I need you to come up with a word that has this and that and that, and it complies with whatever else. And then instead of taking hours and hours and hours to painstakingly brainstorm, what if you're having like one of those days where you cannot think of anything? The artist, you can feed the prompt into the AI and then continue to refine it. But most of the time, what people do is they take one thing and they keep adding prompts to it and taking things out of the prompt. And they keep like reworking it and creating many iterations. That's still time though. You're still going into like tweak it. You're still working. You're still doing art. And then usually people take that art and then continue to work it until it is perfect, because sometimes hands don't come out right, or just imagine that it created something that was like pretty much close to what you had in mind, but it still needed, I don't know, to have a watch, something crazy like that. And you take it out and you paint a watch, or you ask the thing to generate a watch on it. Like, you're still working. You're still using your creativity when you're working with the AI. It's just that you don't have to painstakingly go in and, you know, draw a tree. You can just say, draw me a tree, and the tree will be there. I mean, you could have possibly done that tree too. I'm sure you could have. You're a great artist, but still, like it just, the only thing it does is it helps you get to where you were gonna go anyways quicker. Now, the other thing too is that it democratizes art. Let's say that I am a kid in a remote place. Maybe I am a kid who doesn't know artists. Well, now that you have AI, make your own warrior or whatever for your game or movie. What I'm trying to say is AI is not going to replace an art, but if you are a kid with not a lot of resources, it might be able to give you something that you can use for now until you can pay a real artist. You can have that piece of media and use it for your album cover, use it for your video game, until you get more funding for a studio that can do it better. If you're the kind of person who likes to think of catastrophic scenarios, if you actually enjoy that, then continue watching this, because there is a theory that can make you be like, you see, I told you, shit's bad for artists and for the world at large. So this is the thing, right? Imagine this. Right now, AI, the software that create the AI art, are owned by whomever makes the thing. Now imagine the AI gets so good that all you have to do is feed it algorithm generated prompts, and it creates hits after hits of art pieces. Like, imagine there is an algorithm that looks at what's popular right now and says, okay, so right now frogs playing the ukulele is like picking up, right? Like, people like this. And also aliens. So like, imagine, like, you don't even have to do this, right? The algorithm knows what's trending on social media, and then it goes to the AI, like, automatically without you having to do anything, and says, frogs playing the ukulele on the moon surrounded by space saucers, or whatever it is they're called. And it just makes like 12,000 of them, and it just releases them into the wild. And then somebody says like, wow, that frog playing the ukulele on surrounded by flight saucers on the moon looks really dope. I want to buy this. And then basically you start just printing money with AI, right? Because people start buying posters, t-shirts, whatever. Algorithm plus AI. That's the actual end of arts for humanity. But it gets worse. It gets worse. Imagine, I mean, this is not hard to imagine. Imagine a powerful company like, I don't know, Disney, Universal, or whatever, comes up to these people, to the people who own Midjourney and everything else, and says, listen, we're gonna buy your AI for $2 billion. I cannot think of anybody who will turn down $2 billion. They're gonna be like, yeah, you know, I will definitely sell this to you. And then it's over, right? Like, there is no coming back from that point. There will always be, at that point, AI generated art flooding the market. Some of it's gonna be trash. some of it's gonna be really good, and the stuff that's really good is gonna rise to the top, and you're barely ever gonna see that bad stuff. And then, I mean, artists won't be able to compete. Corporations would have successfully stolen art from humanity. Once all the good stuff rises to the top and the bad stuff you never see, it's gonna be kind of like, you know how classic gaming, everybody's like, classic gaming was awesome, older games were just better. But literally, there are channels dedicated to looking at all the crap that because all gaming was a wild west. There was some shit games, and there were some, like, mostly shit games, right? But there were like a few good games, and those are the ones that we remember. We're gonna have survivor bias always. So people are gonna be like, this AI art is like excellent, it's not bad, so they're not going to say anything about the fact that maybe 1 or 2 or 3 corporations now basically own art, and they're gonna be able to create such vast and varied amounts of art. Statistically, you're gonna paint something that looks like something the AI painted, and they're gonna be like, hey, you're infringing on our copyright. You know, that's maybe one of the bleak futures that we can see. I can see it, and it's not that I am saying that I'm okay with it. I think that will be terrible, but you know, part of being stoic and whatever is accepting what's coming and just kind of learn to roll with it. It's gonna happen. I can see it. AI is gonna get really good once you pair it up with the algorithm. It's gonna be unstoppable, and then 2 or 3 large corporations are gonna own it, and that's gonna be the end of art for mankind. If you give the prompt, it's your art. You just use a tool. But if the prompt is given by an algorithm, whoever owns that algorithm is the owner of the art. And algorithms can give out prompts faster than any human can. Soon there will be AI-generated e-girls. There will be AI-generated music. And then imagine when they create just completely fake YouTubers, completely fake influencers. Then what? It's scary for me because this is what I want to do. Accept what's coming and then try to adapt, unfortunately. I'm not saying that it's not bad. I'm not saying that it's good. I'm just saying be prepared. It's actually kind of a bleak message. In the meantime, make stuff to your heart desires, to heart's content, and do it while you can, because who knows when even art will be taken from humans. Stay awesome. This is your boy signing out. See you later, fellow kids.